Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang glide, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a garden and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sleep like a lot.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion for the fallout from Boruto Chapter 70. And in today's video, I want to discuss the brilliance about what's about to fall upon us in the future Boruto chapters of the manga now that Code has gotten his limiters off. While we know that Code's limiters have been removed and his power level shot up beyond that of Jigen, it's easy to forget that there's an even greater threat that exists in the Naruto world, and that's Eida. Now, I'm not talking only about her power, but in particular, I'm talking about her Senrigan powers and how absolutely busted they are, to the point where it's ironic that a woman as sexy as Eida has a power that's downright disgustingly, just plain ugly levels of broken. As we all know, her Senrigan allows her to see everything that has happened in the past up to the point of her birth, but also she can see everything that's going on during the present timeline, which makes plotting against somebody like Eida pretty hard to do because Eida is always watching. However, the last few manga chapters have shown us that Eida's Senrigan has a weakness, like her not being able to see the conversations that Boruto Momoshiki had once Momoshiki froze time when he spoke to Boruto, but that's not the only weakness that her eyes have. She also can't eavesdrop on any of the conversations that are being had by people who are connected via the Yamanaka clan's hidden jutsu that's passed down throughout the generations, which is the telepathic jutsu. The reason why this is exciting for me and why it should be exciting for you as a reader is it's going to bring us back to the roots of the Naruto franchise: deception, strategy, and the need for somebody to see past deception, which is why I've been a fan of Eida ever since her character was introduced and we learned about her powers. Now, think about it for a second. Eida is watching and looking for information in order to plot her next move, but Shikamaru now knows that she can't hear any other communication that occurs via the Yamanaka clan's jutsu because he saw it firsthand. What this opens up is the possibility that Shikamaru can enact a counter strategy to counter her Senrigan eyes, because he can tell Ino to link everybody telepathically and they can formulate a plan, but most importantly, they can begin to protect themselves from Eida. However, it's not going to be that easy, and it's going to require Masashi Kishimoto to dust off his pen to write some classic Naruto here, because part of deception is understanding your target. It's a concept that we learned early on in Naruto, with the best example being how during the Forest of Death, when Sasuke knew that they were being listened in by the grass ninja who we knew was actually Orochimaru, Sasuke came up with a strategy right away that relied on deception and hidden meanings. He identified Naruto correctly as the weak link in their group who would be targeted, and he took advantage of the fact that Naruto would be utterly too stupid to remember a super complex and long-winded password, because Naruto at that point in time had the brain of a peon. Naruto immediately asked for an easy password like swordfish, but Orochimaru, as Sasuke suspected, remembered the password and he impersonated Naruto, and Sasuke knew that that was going to be a fake Naruto. Now, we have the opportunity for something like this to be done in the Boruto manga, but better. Shikamaru knows that if somebody like Eida can see all things going on at once, he can't just have everyone talking via the mind transfer jutsu and not actually speaking at all, because he's going to know that Eida's going to see past his deception right away, which is why I said in my reviews that Shikamaru and Eida are playing a shogi match without actually having a shogi board, and the pieces that were being moved were the situation at hand and the people in the room and people in Konoha like Kawaki. Well, Shikamaru can have Ino link everyone together, which in turn allows them to tell them what they're dealing with, and the obvious counter on top of that is to have them start speaking in code as they speak, which is also a pun on the fact that Code's name is, well, Code. Eida's using her powers to benefit Code. That's brilliant in of itself. So while they have their own private conversations on how to deal with Eida or any counterattack they're going to have on Code that's going to be getting planned out, Shikamaru can just have them speaking about mundane things like what's for dinner, or they can pull a full-blown Jujutsu Kaisen and have them start speaking random ingredients like inumaki, but that really won't be necessary. Somebody like Eida is going to catch on if it starts being random words that are uttered out, because Eida has the benefit of having intelligence on all these people because she's been watching them ever since she's gotten out of that capsule. However, if they're talking about normal things all while they're having their own private conversations, it's going to do two things. Number one, it won't raise Eida's suspicion right away, but most importantly, it will take advantage of another weakness to her character that we as the audience know, but Shikamaru doesn't know himself, which that in of itself is a form of dramatic irony where the readers know stuff that the characters in universe don't know. Eida has the attention span of a goldfish when it comes to eavesdropping on conversations, and this ain't headcanon. We know this much because she said it herself when she speaks to Code about her powers, and she compares it to having access to every security camera in the world and being able to watch all the footage and rewind the footage. She said that most of the time she's bored with the stuff that she sees, which is why she got so excited when she saw the death of Ishiki, because it was something that excited her. It was something new. It shook everything up. If you have the main players in Konoha going through these methods, it opens up the door for her getting bored and cutting off her Senrigan because she's not gaining access to any intel that would have been of any benefit to her. This is brilliant, and again, it's a throwback to classic Naruto. So all the people in 2022 who are still stuck in 2017 saying, I hate Boruto because he's a brat, even though he hasn't been a brat in the manga for over 3 years now. And they talk about how this isn't a show about ninjas anymore. Lo and behold, this is the most ninja shit that you could expect any of these characters to do, which is fitting because this is a throwback to what we saw in the Chunin exams, which was an arc that arguably had the most ninja tactics that we saw in the series. Now, you might be saying to yourself, okay, hold on, that sounds fine, but isn't that a lot to expect out of Ino? And I would say if we were talking about a normal Yamanaka clan member, I would say yes. But this isn't just a normal run-of-the-mill Yamanaka clan member. People gotta stop sleeping on Ino, despite what some fans might think. Ino is more than a pretty face who has some big old round boobies and a nice flat stomach and long legs that make you realize why Sai never pulled out of her in the first place. But she's also the same person who 16 years prior in the timeline was able to link the entire Shinobi Forces army together with her telepathic jutsu and do so without any assistance from the machines that her father was using. Simply put, this is child's play for Ino to link together a handful of people, and given they have all those Yamanaka clan members doing security and all that equipment that we saw in Boruto's anime episode 177, the fact is that Ino, should she need to take a break, they have more Yamanaka clan members who can continue the transmission if need be, but that also opens up the door for Eida eventually catching on a little too late that they're doing something, because somebody inevitably is gonna slip up, because again, they are Ino. However, I want to know from you guys, do you guys think that this is Shikamaru's next big brain move? And do you agree that this is an amazing throwback to Naruto Part 1 if it occurs? While you consider the answers to those questions, consider watching the other videos you're seeing on the screen right now.